Okay, you guys just bear with me if you will. Good morning. Today we come together to pause, to remember, to reflect, and to pay tribute to those who have impacted the legacy of Tri-State. This is a celebration of life, a noticeable moment to recognize those that we've worked with who have left their mark and added to our story, those who have certainly gone too soon. Let's take a moment to remember the legacy of Tri-State, our 90-plus-year-old trucking company, a company known for its prestigious legacy within our industry, paving the way and setting the bar, a company upholding the highest integrity. With that said, it's not the name of the company that built the legacy of Tri-State, it's the people. Those who are willing to stand firm, uphold our high standards, and not only set expectations, but educate and influence the next generation. Let us focus on the life and the legacy of those we honor here today. At this time, many of you have already looked around, but I would encourage you to take time to look around and notice the names that we have posted here today: Elvin Remy, Donald Allen, Roberta Matheny, Edward Griffin Jr., William Kyle Jr., also known as Smiley, Randall Knickerbocker, Ronnie Hudson, Danny Sheminsky, Derek Johnson, Gary Faust, Norman Goldman, and Courtney Johnson. I had the honor of working directly with several of the Tri-Staters just mentioned, and I will add, sometimes you never know the value of a moment until it becomes a memory. Live life to the fullest. Just remember, your life is your message to the world around you. At this time, I want to shift gears a little bit. Having been part of the Tri-State family for over 2 decades, I'm happy to tell you that my dedication and loyalty remains the same today as it has day after day, based on one fact: we're changing people's lives. I'd like to focus on the life of Courtney Johnson. Courtney changed my life. She joined our team back in March of 2020. She came to us with nearly a decade of experience in the industry. She embodied the vision, mission, and values of Roadmaster Group TSMT. Vision, our why, solving problems. She was definitely on board to find a solution based on our needs. Mission, our how. She was driven, exceptional, and made it her priority to change the life for the better for all those she worked with. Values are who we are. She was a team player, never compromising her integrity, her service, her call to action, and her work ethic. She contributed to our culture by encouraging others, holding herself accountable, and respecting our colleagues and our partners. We honor Courtney's life, her Tri-State legacy, and we remember how she lived and how she loved. And as a side note, as I knew her, she was one hell of a woman, a wife, and she certainly loved being a mama. At this point, I'd just like to take a moment of silence just to reflect upon those near and dear to us who have gone too soon. So at this time, we'll just observe that moment of silence, please. Before moving on, I would like to offer special thanks to Greg Beeching for his handiwork, Cindy Garton, Bruce Jones, our entire maintenance team, Michael Fisk, Russ Thompson, our Roadmaster Group executive team, Sarah Platt, Chelsea Dooling. Thank you. Michael Fisk, if you'd please join me for a moment. Guys, I would ask, as Michael prepares to share his thoughts, be encouraged to share next. Any memories, any stories, anything that you'd like to about anyone that we've mentioned here today, or anything that you remember, please feel free. This is a place of reflection. So please, if you will. Thanks,
Michael. She doesn't love the nickname, but this is why she's Mama T, right? I mean, it's she's earned that, for us here. I hope we can get a picture, Miranda, of everybody. Yeah, I mean, this is fantastic. To have everybody here. It's these days are tough. I mean, it's on the one hand, we want to honor not just Courtney, but everybody, there, and hopefully, at the end of this, we'll share, memories. Of course, we're gonna cry. I mean, it's but we also want to laugh. I mean, it's when I got the call, I was in New Jersey, and that was already going to be a tough day. It had some things going on, with SJ, there, and when I got the call, I mean, you're just in disbelief, right? I mean, it's this is somebody that's just foundational, to our company, foundational to our day. I mean, foundational to what we are and what we do. And you don't ever think about a foundation, losing a foundation, right? And so I couldn't find a flight. I mean, it's I knew I wanted to be here. And I wanted to be here for myself, to be with, those who care for Courtney. And, I couldn't find a flight. I mean, it's, I called John Wilbur, our CEO, and says, hey man, I can't find a flight. I'm gonna charter a private flight. I mean, I'm getting to Joplin as soon as possible, here. And he said, yeah, do it, whatever you got to do. Well, we couldn't find even a charter flight. So I jumped in the car, and so I had about 18 hours, to just kind of reflect, on so much of this, here. So I wrote down a couple of thoughts that I want to share with you today, but those thoughts have really been started then, I mean, it's, at that time of what would I say to the family, what, golly, Keith, it's hard for me to look at you, pal. I mean, it's, to the husband that she loved, man. I mean, you know what her nickname for you was? I mean, it embarrasses me to say it, but Dreamboat, right? So every time we talk about it, we have to call you Dreamboat, right? And it's as another man, I don't feel good about that, okay? It's, there, but she loved her kids so much, and her husband, and her family, and it's so I find things amazing, and Riley will know this. I love algorithms, I love analytics, I love numbers, right? I mean, it's the odds of us all being here today, think about that. For those who don't believe in God, for those who don't believe that there is a higher force, mathematically, it's almost impossible, to line up, enough things in our lives, to be who we are, just as a coincidence, right? And recruiting, we have a phrase: one's an accident, two's a coincidence, three's a trend. Okay, there, right? And it's and I was just talking to, I'm sorry, Courtney's sister, Hannah. The quote that we have here, and I hope you don't mind me sharing this. It is tattooed on her hip. I mean, it's how in the world did we know that? I mean, it's I don't know. That's just a fantastic coincidence, there, right? I mean, it's there. So I just I think it's a pretty amazing, everything that just brings us here today. For us as Tri-State, it's sad. I mean, it's for Courtney and her family, it's tragic, and I don't know I don't know how, I don't know how grief and coping and how all of that works. I mean, it's I imagine there's times that you're angry. I imagine there's times that you're sad. I imagine there's times that you're happy. I mean, it's and I think you're allowed all of those emotions, right? I mean, it's those that are closest to Courtney. I know Chelsea and Sarah, and Teresa, will feel all of those too. Renee, I mean, it's but. Here's what I think I know about Courtney, okay? I mean, it's and this is a lot of my reflection, then. Think about a Carrie Underwood dress, right? On Christmas, okay? I mean, it's she knew that was going to get attention, okay? She knew that she comes in with that, and she's like, man, I'm losing weight. I got to lose 2 more pounds to fit into that dress, and everything, but I'm going to look damn good, there, right? I mean, but at the same time, she didn't want to be the center of attention. But she wanted to be noticed, right? Type of thing, right? And I think the same thing would apply today. I think she would appreciate this, right? I mean, she would appreciate the gesture. She would appreciate what this meant, as part of the culture. But I think she would want us to not make grieving the center of attention, right? I don't think she would want to make, the tragedy the center of attention. I think she'd want us to grow from it. I think she'd want us to be better from it, right? I mean, it's there. It's what else I think I know, about Courtney. I mean, it's she did not have a wide collection of friends. I mean, it's I think in some ways it's a little bit hard for her to have superficial relationships. It's a little bit hard for her to connect with drivers that she's recruiting, that she's doing her job, I mean, it's but those she loved deeply. I mean, it's and those that were in her inner circle, she had a phrase for that. What was that phrase for the her people? I mean, just her people. I mean, from CFI, obviously her family, her tri-state, her people are her people, and think about the legacy that she leaves, there. I mean, we don't have Renee, without Courtney. I mean, it's and I'm a little embarrassed about this, but it took 3 years, for us to bring Renee in. But Courtney insisted. Renee's the fit for us here, I mean, it's and that's her leadership and her vision, there to the people that she's committed to. We don't have Sarah, with us. I mean, it's it's those are the things, though, I think that Courtney will continue to lead us in. Okay, I mean, it's we're gonna have moments of sadness, we're gonna have moments of grief, but I think she would want us to also be happy and to remember her, her and her contributions and and the impact that she has, and she'll continue to be a leader, for us, in that. I try not to write down, too many things, just so I can kind of speak, from the cup. But let me check my notes here a little bit. Just don't want to make it. It's her. I think her legacy ultimately is the people, right? I mean, it's not just the amount of drivers, that she brought in. I mean, it's but we she started as Teresa said, right in the middle of COVID. I mean, if you guys remember, I mean, it's March, 11th, when pretty much the whole world shut down. My first meeting with her was on Zoom meetings for the first 3 or 4 months, type of thing, right? But right away, we knew that she was, committed. She was a part of us. She was engaged. Hey kids, shh, get out of here. During the, type of thing. And then her influence, has only grown, from there. I mean, it's she. You guys were talking about this a little bit before. I mean, it's we had some visitors coming in. And I said, hey, Scott Maldonado's coming in, and Rick Williams coming in, the CEO of Dassey's coming in. This is like 3 o'clock in the afternoon. You guys remember this? And she's like, oh, I got to go get a dress. So she takes off and gets a dress, so she can, there. And I made a comment. I was like, you guys never dress up for me when I come in town. What's this all about? The next time I come into Joplin, I'm pulling in, and what do I see? I see all these women coming out in prom dresses and glamour. I'm like, what's going on here, right? Type of thing. They all line up the stairs, and that was our glamour dress day. I mean, we're talking about pajama day. We're talking, I mean, it's we're talking about the Cinco de Mayo. I mean, it's you know, there. I mean, Courtney loved life. You know, I mean, it's and we're gonna honor her by loving life as well, right? I mean, it's you know, we're still gonna figure out and work through all, you know, all the complicated, you know, feelings, you know, of it. I mean, it's you know, I don't know that Keith and your family is better off for losing Courtney. We're better off for having Courtney. I mean, it's you know, and so we're grateful for that, and we're gonna cling to that a little bit. I want, as my final thought, I just want to share. I mean, it's this is one of my favorite poems from Eleanor Roosevelt. You know, one of our, you know, just iconic first ladies, and she shares her thoughts. You know, it's the, friends, you and me. You brought another friend, and then there were three. We started our group, our circle of friends, and like that circle, there is no beginning or end. Yesterday is our history. Tomorrow is a mystery. Today is a gift, and that's why it's called present. And it's Courtney was our gift, was our present, and she remained to be. I'm so delighted. You know, I mean, this is just amazing. It's beautiful. I mean, for the kids, you know, you guys are going to be part of us forever. This is permanent. I mean, it's like, when I came, I was like, are we going to give this to the family? I said, no, it's in concrete. It's, I mean, it's, you know, there. So this is fantastic. And again, you know, I wish Greg was here so we could recognize, you know, his efforts on this. I hope he doesn't mind me sharing this. His wife, Dad, passed away just a couple of weeks before he started this. And Bruce, I hope this is okay, but it's, you know, I mean, it's, you know, for Greg, this is a very therapeutic thing for him to be able to do, you know, and, you know, and so it's, you know, just all interconnected, right? I mean, it's not just about a random tattoo phrase, you know, there, but, you know, it's the human connections, you know, the 6 degrees of Kevin Bacon, you know, type of thing, you know, that, you know, that just ties into all of this, you know. So I thank all of you. Give each other applause for being here today, and in memory of Courtney, you know, there. She loves you guys. We love you guys. Keith, we love you guys. You know, I mean, it's you're welcome here anytime. You know, there, and we need you to know that. So anyway, Teresa, thank you. You know, back to you.
Yep.
Okay.
Thank you, Mike. Who else has something fun they want to share about Courtney? A funny story? Anything at all?
Well, I think if everyone notices our shirt here, Courtney had this in white. She showed up one Thursday morning, and I think Renee's words were, well, that was a bold choice. It's Donut Thursday, so we had to go see the drivers, and she's wearing a half-naked Jackson t-shirt. So we just, every time we hear hotter than a hoochie coochie, I mean, just every day.
Every Donut Thursday.
Every Donut Thursday. I mean, I know in our room particularly, there's not going to be a day that goes by that we don't think about Courtney. She brought me to Tri-State and impacted my life so much in so many ways. I'm so thankful for knowing her. So blessed to have the time I had with her. I think on in particularly hard recruiting days, I'm also cursing her. But we miss her so much, and I'm thankful that you all could be here and we could spend today together honoring her.
Thank you. Hi, for those that don't know, I'm Chelsea. I did not get as much time with Court as I wanted. I started March of, I've been here 2 years now. And when I sent Teresa a text message, I told her, is there a job open at Tri-State other than recruiting? Because I didn't want to be in recruiting. It wasn't where I wanted to be. She said, why not recruiting? I gave her my reasons. I came and met with her in Court, and I decided I wanted to try recruiting. So it's been a year in recruiting, and just that year, or you know, however long, she changed my life. There are so many things that I'll never listen to an Eminem song without thinking of her. I'll never eat a loaf of bread without thinking of her. There's a million other SpongeBob. This is Patrick. support always. So there are things that just daily make me think of her that I never thought would. Why would a show from cartoon SpongeBob from years ago make me think of Courtney? It does. The things she said, the things she did. Thanks an avocado. That's her. Recently, I took a different position outside of recruiting, and I start Monday. And I didn't think it was going to be a hard decision for me to make because it is a step up. But leaving that room feels like I'm leaving her, and it's really, really hard. I'm not leaving Tri-State. I'm still here. I'm not going anywhere. But that was the hardest decision for me, was the fact that I was leaving her, because that room where she sat next to me, that department she brought me in, was her. So although Teresa and Sarah have also impacted me, that room is, I feel like I was leaving her. So I have chosen to take the promotion, and I think Courtney would be proud of me for doing that. But Courtney meant the whole world to us, and Hannah mentioned earlier that maybe Melissa mentioned it, that we're surprised, that they were surprised that we remember and that we would all show up for her. There's not a chance we wouldn't, because she would have showed up for any of us. She always did. Arm in a cast was the only time she didn't show up for us. So this means a lot to us. This will be a good spot to come out and see her, you know, be with her. So appreciate everybody for coming.
Anybody else?
I'll jump in.
Yeah.
So I worked with Courtney for 3 of my 4 years at Tri-State, and one of the memories that I just always think about when I think about her is she would always go for walks. She would be like, "Who's going on a walk with me?" And we would walk down here to the pond and walk back, and we would always look for stray cats, and we would feed them, and it was a whole thing. And I remember one day it was just me and her walking, and we were walking pretty close, and her hand like touched mine, and she was like, "Oh, I'm so sorry." I'm like, "No, it's fine." She was like, "I almost held your hand like you were one of my girls." And I'm like, "I'll hold your hand anytime." But it was just lovely, and she just loved, and I am touched by her, and I got a lot of strength from her that I needed in some of those formative early adult lives, those years that I needed from her. So I am forever touched by her, and I'm thankful for her, and I'm thankful for you guys for sharing her with us. So thank you.
Anybody else? Oh, we need another balloon. I think just, you know, just something else that I have to share is, girls, I need you to know that we love you so much. You'll never know how involved we were in your lives, knowing your mama, and she loves you so much, and she's so proud of you. And I mean, there were days when she and we literally, you know, would step to the side, and she would always say, "Can I have 5 minutes?" Absolutely. And we literally prayed for you girls, and just, you know, I am so honored to have space in a place like this where we can take a break, we can do whatever we need to do, and still focus on all of the things that are important. And you're definitely welcome here anytime. You have so many people here that have an ear open to you, open hearts to you. And Keith, it's the truth on the dreamboat thing. Oh my word, it's so funny. And yes, you know, I just say the word always, because that's who you are.
Real quick, while the sun is shining.
Yeah, please
Everybody
look
will
at
look
those
at the
fish.
fish.
We've been waiting for the sun. It lights up those fish.
And in case you didn't notice, Courtney's fish is bigger than Keith's, always.
Always. As well. Yes, always. So we never saw any different, I'm just saying. So we have no other proof to go by than what we were given. So again, so many memories for us. We'll never forget her. She impacted our lives She continued to strengthen our culture, and we celebrate her life today on her birthday as well. And all of the lives who've impacted Tri-State and left their mark on our legacy. At this time, if no one else has anything else to share, you do have your balloons in your hand. It's on purpose. We're going to have a balloon release, and so if you will, on the count of 3, I'm going to say happy birthday, and we're going to release these balloons, okay? So 1, 2, 3, happy birthday!
Months.
All right, you guys, we appreciate everyone coming out today, and we do have some refreshments up in the lodge that are Courtney inspired. You're going to find a few things like the schnackle box elements, the snackies that she liked, her emotional support loaves, the loaves of bread that she would literally just come back from lunch carrying in because we just needed it, and her comfort coffee that she came in with almost every single day. I'm pretty positive of it. Yeah, so let's go celebrate and or participate rather, as she would say. So thank you guys so much. Thank you for being here, and let's go get some snacks. Thanks guys, I appreciate you.